What is up, all of my beautiful YouTube family? Welcome back to the Bad LSX Garage YouTube channel. In this week's video, we're going to be installing the sub wire and remote wire for our subs and amp to go in our new 2018 Silverado. Not only that, but we're also going to do a little bit of paint correction. There's some issues that we got to work out. You know what to do. Stick around and stay tuned. Let's roll to that intro. Get in a car like this and smile, there's something wrong with you. Beginning to look a lot like Christmas. What is up, all of you beautiful YouTube family? Welcome back to the Bad LSX Garage YouTube channel. Glad each and every one of you decided to stop back by here at the compound, here at the garage. Thanks to each and every one of you. Now this, don't pay any mind to this right now. It just happened to show up and, well, it's here. This is going to be a future video coming really soon. Just don't get too high of expectations. Maybe get your expectations a little lower. Low expectations, if you will. Anyways, today's video is going to be more concentrated on getting ready to hook up the stereo system to this 2018 Silverado and a little bit of paint correction because we have some issues. We have some paint defects that we need to touch up on and try to fix. And well, today that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a mixed up video a little bit here and there, but you know, it'll be okay. You guys like that sort of stuff, so let's get started. I'm not going to go into great detail about how to hook up the stereo system. The part that we've done today is running it from the battery, poking a hole through the firewall, through the little rubber grommet, running the wire down the door sill and putting it back behind the seat. Same with the remote wire. We actually got into the fuse panel here, hooked into that, run it down, and also run it back behind the seat. Now I should be picking up a speaker box within the next couple of days, so we'll get everything situated more then. How to actually posi tap into these speakers and run your little block so you can hook your RCA jacks in and all that. We'll get more into that later. But one of the things that I mentioned was we need to do a paint correction on this truck. We need to do some things. There's some things wrong with this truck that has to be fixed. And in order to understand what I'm getting ready to tell you, well, I have to tell you a little bit of a story. Everybody and everything has a story. And even though we can tell our stories, these cars, trucks, motorcycles, they can't tell us our story, but we can go research and actually find out about where they came from, who had them, why they done the things that they done, etc. And that intrigues me. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. That's part of what I love actually about buying used vehicles. But anyway, from my research about looking up this truck, it actually was ordered by Lawrenceville Utilities. So it's a utility truck. It was actually used for electric services, gas, water, etc. And the reason I know this is because, well, they actually left the booklet in the glove box, so I went through it. Most of its life, it's been woman drove from what I can tell. And that's the reason it does have the low mileage, because it was a utility truck. Now, going from that, I don't know exactly what happened, but it was wrecked somewhere in 2023. I'm assuming from what I've heard and from what I see that maybe they would stop at a stop sign or a red light and somebody hit them from the back and then they was pushed into the car in front of them. And the reason I say that is because the guy that I purchased the truck from, and I'm sure he bought the truck from an auction or maybe an insurance company, and not sure, didn't ask. But he said all he replaced was the bumper, the front bumper, and the right headlight. He said all the horns, like where the bumpers hook up to, was good. Yes, the tailgate's a little jacked up too. It's bent up a little bit. None of the airbags was blown, nothing. It's honestly a good, solid truck. But that made me wonder, what all is going on with this truck? So the past week that I've had it, I've actually started looking for things and digging into things and actually seeing that it was a utility truck, that it was used for strictly utilities and it was not somebody's daily driver. And well, let's just point out some of those things. One of the main things that's caught my attention was that the headlights are on all the time. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe it's a 2018 thing. Maybe that they switched them up to where the headlights just stay on. Or maybe, just maybe, the headlight switch is bad. But I mean, I kept turning it and it's turning on, turning off, doing everything that it needs to do. And then I caught this. There's no ambient light sensor there. So there's that. And then something caught my eye that just blowed me away, because I was all over this truck when I was looking at it, when I was driving it. I was all over it. But I didn't even see this. It's different looking through a camera versus your eyeballs. But even in the sunlight, I still couldn't see it. I know it's there now, so my eyes are actually drawn to it. But can you guys see it? What about now? Can you see it now? See that line right around through there? You've actually got a circle all the way around through here. And I'm assuming that's where the utility company had their logo, obviously. It's not like that on the other door. So what I'm assuming is that somebody probably peeled the logo off, and when they did, some of the paint came with the logo. And in order to fix it, they've just sprayed it and went on about their day. They didn't really do any sanding, so you got a high spot right here in the middle, and then on the edges is a lip. So we've definitely got to work that down. We're going to work on that little spot on the door. We're going to start off with probably 1,000 grit, work our way up, try to blend that in, try to get everything situated right. Then we're going to pretty much do the whole truck that way. We're going to work on it. We're going to use compounds. We're going to use waxes. And we're just going to see what we can do with this truck. We're going to see what kind of shine we can get out of it, and just make this truck look the way it should look when it came out in 2018. I can still feel a little bit of a high spot right here in this area, but it's much better than what it was. Hopefully you guys could tell the difference as well. What we started off with was actually a clay bar. Now, was this really needed? No, it's just habit for me. I could have probably went with 1,000 grit and been safe with this. But honestly, I don't know what's been done here. I don't know what they've done or anything like that. So I started off with 1,500. I want to take off as less material, and so I can fill it out a little more than taking a whole lot of material off. I hope that makes sense. But it looks good, it feels good. Yes, I still got some blending to do right in here, but for the most part, I mean, we're right on point. Now, from here, I'm going to continue to work on this with the 1,500. When I'm happy with what we got, I'm going to step it up to 2,000. Go over the whole door with 2,000 grit, then go from there from 25 and on up to 3,000. We'll probably stop at 3,000 grit, and then we'll put the compound to it and buff it out real good. While I wrap this up with the 1,500, let's stick you guys inside and let's get that ambient light sensor in. No, boys and girls, this isn't magic. We've actually got two sensors here. The one that I ordered and the one that's actually in the truck. So apparently somebody was lazy at the utility company, and who knows, this may be the trick that all utility companies use, but instead of actually taking this ambient light sensor out, well, they just take their finger and push it down through, and it goes down inside the dash where it's always dark. And if it's always dark, well, you know your lights are going to stay on, right? And that's exactly why my lights are on all the time. Here, I thought I didn't have one, but in fact, I do. Anybody need an ambient light sensor for a 2018 Silverado? I have one. I wish now that I would have raised that up and kind of seen what was going on before I ordered the sensor, but hey, it was just 20 bucks. 20 bucks ain't going to break me. And more besides, I went ahead and replaced the sensor anyway. Why not? I'm already there. And who knows how long that old one has actually been beating around behind the dash. Last you seen of the door, we was at 1,500. Hit it with some 2, went to 25, finished it out with 3. Hit it a couple of times with some McGuire's compound, and this is what you got. Yes, there's a couple of sand scratches still in it. You know, it's only been buffed a couple of times. Give me a break. It'll be okay. We'll get there. That's just part of the process when you're color sanding. You're going to have scratches that you have to buff out. But the biggest thing, we got rid of that big circle that was right here. That big utility circle that was right in the middle of the door is gone. Once your eyes focused on that circle, it wouldn't go away from that circle. To all the skeptics out there who's questioning, is this really worth the trouble? Is this worth going through? Well, it just all depends. Do you want that show quality shine? If you do, these are the necessary steps that you need to take. But for an everyday Joe Blow on the street who really doesn't care about their vehicle, no, I mean, you really wouldn't need to do all of this. But yes, this is going to kind of be a daily driver, but it's also going to be a show truck as well. So I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck. Now, as you can see, we've already finished the front fender and the door. Now with the cab and the bed, there's that split in between. You can tell a difference, but you really can't tell a huge difference. So that's why we put the tape line here. That way you can see a compared side by side yes and no. Yes, this has been fully wet sanded from 2000 all the way up to 3000, fully buffed out. Well, we're working on the final product right now, taking it off. But once we peel this tape, then you can see what the difference is. The GoPro's not going to do it justice. I know it's not. White is also one of those colors that just doesn't show imperfections that much. And that's what I love about white. But if you were standing here right now, you could honestly see a tape line, and you could see that this is super shiny. It's glossy, it's up in your face. Now this side is glossy too, but it's nothing like what this side is. And also, if you were standing here, you could see 7 years of scratches and just little imperfections. You know, they've took it through a car wash, the brushes have beat on it, just little things here and there that adds up over time. And then you got this side from here up, not a scratch, not a mark, looks like it's been freshly painted. And that is the look that we're after. Do you want that show quality paint job, that show quality shine, but you don't have the thousands of dollars it takes to get there? Well, that's why I make these videos, fam. Just like if you've watched previous videos with my 2024 Road Glide, who would think that a person would take a brand new motorcycle and use spray paint on it? I did. I painted the tour pack, I painted the side fairing extensions with spray paint, and it turned out just like it would from factory. And the same goes with this 2018 Silverado. Yes, I could have this truck repainted, but why should I? It's got a good foundation, it's got a good base. So why not use my own hands, my own knowledge, get out of my head and do the exact same thing with this truck that I did with the bike, minus the paint job. All I have to do is just use a little bit of material. $100 worth of material and 3 days of time, and we got a show quality shine out of this truck. I don't think that's too bad myself. I just want you guys to step outside your comfort zone. If you've got something that you're working on or something that you want to work on, don't be afraid to get out there and do it. Just get in and do it. Fam, that's all I've got for you for this week's video. I love each and every one of you. You do want to stick around and stay tuned because, well, as I said earlier, we've got things going on for sure. So until next week, fam, you ready? Let's do this. Peace. I'm out.